You're listening to Overwatch Contenders Daily, your path to daily news, scores, and insights into the Overwatch League stars of tomorrow. Here's your host, LemonKiwi.
Hey Overwatch fans, happy Wednesday. We made it halfway through the week. That means we're still kicking. It's Overwatch Contenders Daily here. I'm your host, LemonKiwi. Today's episode is pretty different from the rest of the stuff I've done. I've decided to do a Path to Pro story time with upcoming players who don't have much of a name for themselves but are starting to build their brand and have some nice accomplishments going on. And that's Daiya from Team UK, who approached me wanting to tell his Path to Pro story. So I'm digging it, love to hear about him and how he got this huge opportunity and how he's using that leverage for his future endeavors. But since there's no Overwatch news to interrupt this introduction, I'll take the time to invite anyone watching this video who knows an upcoming player, coach, staff, personality involved in contenders or trials or even open division. If you'd like to recommend someone that I should interview, please drop it in the comments or email me at lemonkiwiesports@gmail.com to get the ideas pitched. But that's it for my little introduction. I'm here to talk with Daiya, and here's the interview. And I'm joined here with upcoming player Daiya. He mains Zenyatta, but his biggest accomplishment and why I brought him on today is making that 12-man roster for Team UK. And the whole point of the show is to highlight upcoming talent contenders. And Daiya approached me and I thought this was the best opportunity to get to know you. So Daiya, how's it going?
Hey Kiwi, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Doing great. I mean, congratulations, at least for the 12-man, although you didn't make the 7-man. It's still awesome to hear the story that I actually interviewed Team UK. But for those who didn't get to catch that video, and I want to get to know maybe your side of the story of how you met Team UK and how you got that opportunity.
Basically, how I got that opportunity to trial for Team UK is that I was very well known by a lot of UK players because I was very involved in the UK community, active in the Discord and so forth. And because of that, I had already sort of had a name for myself in the UK community because I was high rated on ladder. I played in UK weekly cups and won one. It was through that a lot of UK players know me, including some of the people trialing. And as Hay said in the video you made with the UK committee, they said that he got approached and told them about me, and that's how I got my trial.
So you got a nice recommendation from a fellow player, and you had played in a couple cups. So how come you haven't done open division or contenders or?
I actually have done open division.
Okay.
This is not the teams I played for weren't very high on the radar, so to speak. But I did 2 open division seasons. I did season 1 of 2018 with a team called Honor Esports, which was my first big break into open division and the competitive Overwatch circuit, the Path to Pro. And in that open division we went 7-3, including a forfeit because someone didn't show up and we had to forfeit. And the losses were 2 teams that went on to playoffs, and one of them went to contenders. So it was my first time playing in an open division team, and wasn't the greatest of results. But in my second open division season I played for a team called Lovely Dwarfs, which also won a ESL weekly cup, 101 to be specific. And in that we went 9-1, which would have been high enough to earn a playoff spot. Because of tiebreaker stats, we didn't earn a spot in the playoffs, even though we had a match score of 9-1. And it was after that open division that I got a trial for Team UK.
So they kind of saw how you were doing in open division. Of course, you probably had some recommendations, and open division is kind of a grind. There's so many matches and so much talent coming into there. It's kind of chaotic almost, with forfeits and everything going on. But for an upcoming player, I mean, you probably spend a lot of time playing the game and all that and getting better at your craft. So how much time exactly do you spend getting better at Zenyatta, and do you spend time playing other heroes or other roles?
Right, so the season I really started grinding for my ambitions to be a professional player was in season 7 in October of 2017, and I remember this well. In the season 7, I played about 1,200 games of competitive in that one season alone. I grinded so many hours a day, and that's when I reached my career high SR of 4.5, which is pretty damn high. So
And
obviously,
did you get top 500 though? I don't know where that is if on the EU server.
Yes, it was top 80 in Europe when I got it.
Oh wow. And as a support player, that's already pretty tough. But Zenyatta can carry a game, so did you play like other stuff in the ladder, like Ana, any Lucio, any Mercy?
Yeah, before season 7, actually, I was an Ana main, and my first top 500 is when I reached 4300 rating in season 5 playing Ana. That was my first time in the top 500, and before that, I was mostly an Ana main. Back starting all the way in season 2, that was my first season of competitive Overwatch. And as for other stuff, nowadays I mostly play Mercy as my second most played right now in competitive, because she's part of the Mercy Zen combo, the holy duo of supports right now. And obviously, as a competitive player, I want to play to the meta and play what's the strongest right now and play, or I can. But obviously, I still have the Ana up my sleeve, but I often pick Mercy instead because, unfortunately, due to the balance, Mercy is much stronger than Ana and doesn't require as much mechanics to make her very effective. And other than that, I do flex and ranked if we have supports on our team, and I usually like flexing to characters like Zarya, and I practiced Hanzo a lot recently since he became strong, and I have a decent McCree, but he doesn't really have a place in the meta right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Hanzo at least has a place in the meta, so you maybe have a backup plan if support doesn't pan out. But for a Zenyatta and Ana player like yourself, and a top 500 one at that, what sort of tips do you have for players that are grinding ladder, or for players that want to make a professional team? How do you stand out as a support player?
I think Hayes mentioned this on the Team UK interview he did with you, and he said the big difference between me and Boobox is experience, and that counts for a lot with support. So I'd say get scrimming and get experience and work your way up from there. And also communication as well is a huge, massive for supports, as well as being able to ult track. Supports are always expected to ult track. Now, as an off support, as a Zen player, you're not necessarily expected to shot call. As a Custer mentioned, it's too mechanically demanding to be able to shot call your entire team and focus on your aim and all these other things. But being able to ult track and communicate effectively your Discord orbs and so forth makes a huge difference, as well as the experience.
So as long as you can call out who you're discording and ultimate track as best as you can, that's, I guess, at the top level of what your role demands for?
Yes, and also communicating to your main support, which is the Mercy player. Being able to communicate with your Mercy player, let them know where you're positioning, what angles you're holding, will help them peel for you much better and help them keep track of where everyone is.
And a question for you in this meta, it's sort of Dragon Strike, Graviton Central, and Zenyatters are so important with their use of Transcendence to hopefully save the team in the middle of that, as it's still kind of... Sometimes Transcendence to save the team, and sometimes it doesn't. So how important is Zenyatta in this meta to you?
He's still the best support in the game, and he has been one of the best supports in the game, if not one of the best characters in the game, for an extremely long time. And that's just because of the power of Transcendence and Discord Orb. Discord Orb is one of the most powerful abilities in Overwatch, and his win rate in Ranked in general reflects that. As you get to the higher tiers, his win rate is much higher than a lot of other characters. And also his pick rate in Owl as well. You basically never not see a Zenyatta. And and as long as Discord Orb and Transcendence are as powerful as they are, he will remain meta. And even if Mercy is nerfed, he will still remain meta, because even without Mercy, we still had a Zen Lucio meta, and that's just because Discord Orb enables dives so hard. And Mercy makes Zen even stronger, since Zen's weaknesses basically become irrelevant. His lack of mobility and his ease to kill don't matter when a Mercy can pocket him and keep him up through so much damage.
That's for sure. And as an Ana player, what tips do you have for maybe upcoming Ana players? Because that's totally different of how you would act as a Zenyatta, right?
Yeah, in Season 11, my best tip to Ana players is learn how to play Mercy. But no,
so true.
But I think with Ana specifically, you need to have extremely good mechanics so you can be consistent enough to not miss shots when it really counts. And you need to it's all about mechanics in general, and having a lot of game sense for good anti-nades and positioning helps a ton. And communication and experience also matter equally as if you're playing Zen.
Yeah, I know Ana, it takes like such good mechanics to have such a good output of healing and damage as compared to other supports that you can pick from. That's why a lot of people aren't really happy when you pick Ana in these lower elos, where I kind of am, because it's very rare you're going to see that sort of ML7 type of mechanics where you can put out just as much healing as the other supports. And what do you think of her nano utility? Is that sort of why she's out of the meta? She's not as maybe useful as a Zenyatta with his Discord, and not as useful as a Mercy with the Resurrects?
I think Nano Boost. I think Nano Boost in a vacuum is a very good alternate, as it enables powerful combos of your teammates, like Nano Blade, Rhine, Nano Visors, all that good stuff we remember well from Season 4 and below. I think what cripples Ana the most is that she can't heal through barriers.
Oh, that's very true.
She has ammo, so her healing is limited, and she is very easily dived, because when she is isolated, it's just so easy to kill her. And additionally, Mercy is just so much easier to be effective with. Resurrection is such a powerful ability, and Mercy is so much more mobile. So in terms of healing, Ana's just outclassed by Mercy.
And especially if you miss that crucial sleep dart on that Winston diving at your face, Ana's very easily diveable in that case. But to move on back to your story, I was so curious about all these supports and what a top 500 player had to say about it. But now that you got all these recommendations from really big names, from like Stylosa to Hayes and other Team UK committee members, what sort of leverage has that built for your brand and to enter contenders, hopefully, for your first time?
Well, firstly, I've seen a lot of growth in my Twitter and Twitch, and obviously that's beginning to take off, and I'm becoming widely more recognised. And right now I've got a trial going for a pretty strong Open Division team, because right now, at this point in the Contenders season, there isn't really any slots. Like, the Contenders teams aren't looking for people right now, because all the slots are filled and people are grinding the season. I feel like if I'm going to join a Contenders team, or maybe even a team in Contender Trials, it's going to be at the end of the season, end of the Contender season, not in the middle of the season right now.
Especially when everyone's like not at the end of the season, when everyone's tired of their teammates and they want to try and change their roster for trials and stuff. I think you could probably have a shot at a trials team, and then we'll see after that. But I'm sure with the huge recommendations from Team UK, you're obviously an outstanding player to make that sort of team. And when your social media and your stream and everything grows from that, I'm sure the opportunities will come in after that, right?
Yes, I do believe I have a good shot at a trials opportunity at the least. I do believe that with my Twitch and Twitter growing, it opens up a lot more opportunities for me and makes me more recognized, so someone higher up will take notice.
So it's all about impressing your teammates, and hopefully they'll nudge that nice coach that they know for you to get a tryout. I mean, it seems like a lucky opportunity, but obviously you've definitely earned it with all the grinding you've been doing, and hopefully you find success in whether it's Open Division or Trials. But your path to Pro is not nearly done, as you're going to be moving on to Open Division Contenders and maybe the actual World Cup roster next year. We never know. But what tips do you have for completely unknown players to break into the scene?
I think, first of all, get to top 500 if you want to get a decent tryout for a semi-decent Open Division team, and then get experience scrimming. Make sure you have a team that scrims all the time. You have to put in the work for it. And make sure you have some social media presence, as you can get involved in the conversations and make yourself known to people. And make sure to grind ranked and grind scrims as well, because ranked is a good way to hone mechanics. You just have to separate yourself from your SR and focus on improving yourself. Make sure you review yourself with heavy scrutiny, and I think this is especially important for support players because the small details of support can be what makes the most impact. So you have to scrutinize yourself heavily and your own play and be very honest with yourself. So you get that experience, and I think through that, that's how you build a path to pro for yourself.
And do you review your gameplay with a coach or with teammates or just yourself, or what do you do?
Right now, I mainly look at my VODs by myself since I'm not on a team yet. So I mainly look at VODs myself and judge my own play from that. Also, another thing I wanted to mention is that being positive is like a very good quality to have in a teammate. Especially, I won't take this too far, but especially in Europe, okay? Especially in Europe.
Especially anywhere. I know that having that one toxic teammate, you could be like the best player in the game, and if you're just not the best communicator and you're kind of toxic, well, that's an easy way to get out of a team. But I also know a lot of people getting on teams because of being good friends with the rest of the team and just being able to enjoy the game with them and them to enjoy the game with you. So a very good team mindset, I think, is very important, along with your mechanics and VOD reviewing yourself and practicing, getting in ranked games, scrims, social media presence. You have a stream going for yourself, which, by the way, I'm going to plug because that's where I found your 6 Zenyatta clips. You guys got to go check it out. Twitch.tv/Daiya, OW, DAIYAOW. And you also got a Twitter, Daiya OW. Everything's very simple, actually. Your YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is all the same thing. So if you guys want to check out some sick Zenyatta plays or want to maybe try this guy out, well, I plugged his social media there, and you can find it in the description. But I think I've learned all I need to know about supports and being an upcoming player. So thanks so much, Daiya, for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Kiwi. It was a pleasure to do this, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to talk to someone and share my story.
It was awesome to get to know your story, and hopefully we'll see you at the World Cup next year or over Overwatch League someday. I don't know, but I think I got a glimpse into the start of your path to pro. But this was Daiya. Check out his stream at Daiya OW. This was Overwatch Contenders Daily. I'm LemonKiwi, and we're going to see you guys next week.